The Supreme Court that has not taken cognizance of Gujarat IPS officer Sanjeev Bhatt's affidavit. Remember, Sanjeev Bhatt is the very same police officer who had filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court questioning the capability of the special investigation team to probe the post-Godhra violence. He had also alleged the complicity of the Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi in the violence that unfolded. We have Rhythm now joining us on the phone line with the details. Rhythm, what reasons for the Supreme Court not taking cognizance of this all-important affidavit?
Well, Avril, what the court is actually saying is there are a lot of affidavits, a lot of documents before us. We will first examine all of those, then we will take cognizance of this affidavit that's been filed by Sanjeev Bhatt. Remember, like you rightly saying, it is an affidavit that is actually alleging that Modi had played a key role in the muted response of the police in the aftermath of the Godhra train burning. Now, Sanjeev Bhatt also claimed that he was present during that all-important meeting that had been chaired by Narendra Modi just after the Godhra incident. Several facts in his Sanjeev Bhatt's affidavit also indict and accuse Modi of having given a muted response to the entire incident. But for now, the Supreme Court that's supervising the entire Godhra Gulbarg probe says we will not look into this matter. They have directed the amicus curiae, senior advocate Raju Ramachandran, to give his reply on 20th of July. He will also examine this affidavit by Sanjeev Bhatt. After that, he will give his observations in the court. Earlier, in fact, Avril, in the last hearing, the Supreme Court had taken on record the SIT's fresh report. That's a report that's been filed after the amicus had told them, pointing out there were discrepancies in the conclusion that the SIT that was probing the Godhra riot, the Gulbarg Gujarat riots cases had from the evidence that they had put forward before the Supreme Court. Keeping that in mind, the amicus said that they need to relook it. Therefore, there was a fresh SIT report that was filed in the Supreme Court. This time around, what was really discussed in the matter was two things. Number one, Sanjeev Bhatt's affidavit, which the court said we will not take into account for now. We will not pass any observations on it, any comments on it. It is an affidavit that's very clearly indicting Narendra Modi in the Gujarat riot. It's an affidavit which very clearly says Modi's response, the Chief Minister's response to the Godhra riots was muted. Hence, the PPL carried on. The indifferent attitude of the police can actually be attributed to the attitude with which Narendra Modi had performed his duties as a chief minister. The affidavit very clearly against Narendra Modi, but for now, the Supreme Court says it is not our time to take cognizance of that affidavit. Once everything that's before us has been taken into account, we might look at this affidavit. But for now, it's only the amicus curiae, that senior advocate Raju Ramachandran, who will be examining this all-important affidavit, after which the Supreme Court might think about taking it into a court, might think of using it or against Narendra Modi, or might think of using it as an important part of this all-important case that the court is actually examining for now.
Right, Rhythm, and what really did the Apex Court have to say while not taking cognizance of the affidavit? What are the documents that it is going to look into first, after which it will decide, rather take a decision on whether or not they will be taking into account Sanjeev Bhatt's affidavit?
Well, Avril, we have to remember in the last hearing of the case, the Supreme Court was told by the amicus that there were a lot of discrepancies in the SIT's report in the conclusion that the SIT had given from the evidence that was recorded by the SIT. It's only after this that the SIT went forward, submitted a fresh report to the Supreme Court. Most importantly, today at 3 o'clock, when the court was examining the matter, the three-judge bench was looking into this SIT report. They have now given this SIT report to the amicus curiae, who will be examining it, who will be giving his particular observations on it by the 20th of July to the Supreme Court. Once that happens, the court will go forward and think whether they want to examine this affidavit. For now, it's the amicus curiae, that senior advocate Raju Ramachandran, who will examine the affidavit by Sanjeev Bhatt. However, for now, this IPS officer's affidavit will not be taken into consideration by the Supreme Court. It's being filed in a case in which there are several documents being filed to the court stating that for now we will not be taking cognizance of that affidavit.